Rapunzel series. Today we're doing, in my opinion, the most time consuming, which is papier-mâché, especially since I'm trying to get this all done within like one night. Started at 11, we're at some time, I don't know, not keeping track of time. But this was the one project that I thought I was all prepared for. Also just painting in general. I thought I was prepared for it, but I forgot one important thing, which was a bowl. And I know earlier I'd use this, but I need this to hold the balloon. And I actually plan to hold the balloon in this. So we're going to cheat just a little bit on my self-imposed plan, and we're reusing this, which was in the recycling bin anyway. That's just my list, so I follow the order. So yeah, I also have all the old packaging from the Dollar Tree stuff in front of me, and I have the rest of the stuff beside me. First thing we're going to need is a balloon. And I don't think we're going to make this too big because sanity reasons. I don't think we need to make this too big. I make pinatas all the time for work. I often post them in my Twitter and Instagram, mostly my Instagram. So if you want to see me like make bigger pinata or the end results, I've made 3 pigs in the back wall, a bird, and then a button that says do not push, which is what we're gonna make today. Do not push. There. This is all we're doing. Did I make too much water? Okay, I've added a lot less paint. Next step is adding a lot of glue. Of course. Have they outsmarted me? They have. Ooh, they have the little plastic caps that are so fun to get out. No. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. I did that so that the glue from the cap would come off and it wouldn't be a waste. Oh, the cap is floating. I outsmarted myself. Okay, I'm gonna clean the cap a little bit in the water. And then I kind of want to get a film of the glue going into the water because it is a neat effect. It's like my kid's favorite part of papier-mâché. So, there. I can't see anything. No glue actually floats. So you just do a, decent amount. I don't need a ton. Basically, you want your water to not, like when stirred, to be not super white, I would say, but like not cloudy, like just where it's barely solid consistency. I know, that means nothing to anyone who doesn't understand papier-mâché. I do it all the time, and that didn't make much sense to me either. Okay. Next, use the bottom of your paintbrush. See, I don't know how to explain this. This is a little cloudy. It's not like a solid white. Also, this is not Elmer's. Yes. Like, oh. It's okay. It's okay. No. I think the other problem is I'm used to using Elmer's. So might need a bit more. You want it like a shade lighter than milk is another, I guess, good way to explain it. A shade lighter than milk. Now usually for pinatas, I use children's old art pieces that we're usually like hanging up, you know, like I don't think too much about it. Like the paper, we have so much spare junk paper lying around. So what I'm using for this is the old packaging, and then if I need anything else beyond the packaging, I'm just ripping layers off the packaging. Okay. Now that that is better consistency, I am gonna start ripping apart packaging. Thankfully, most of it's really cheap cardboard, and it will just come off apart. I hope. I don't know. I'm punting. But normally, yeah, we just use the children's artworks. Most parents don't want, like, every time their kid scribbles on a paper, but it's still really good for their, like, mental, if they do art every day. And we usually do art twice a day, which is one, like, a free-form art where they just get to do whatever they want to do, and then one, there's the piece I want. Oh, you know the word, structured. There. See that? That's like the perfect piece. Can it go even further? Man, I could get done so much quicker if you go in half. But yeah, as I said, most parents don't want every time little Billy, no, it's not going to go in half. Okay. From here, you make strips. These will be my base pieces just because they're so long. And the secret to this is usually paper, you fold it in like 5 or 6 strips longways. You fold it in half, and then you fold it in half outwards so that you're basically making a heart. And the reason why you do that is so they don't completely congeal on each other. Like, that's the best way I have found to fold it. Like, if you spiral it, which I've seen people do, or if you just like crinkle it up, it won't work as well. Also, my papier-mâché technique is probably better for younger kids because I work with 2s and 3-year-olds, so I don't do it very thick ever. But yeah, they love it, and they definitely know that, you know, they can use up the art, the paper. They're not afraid to use it up because, you know, after they're done with it, and after they're, you know, after it's been up on the wall for like 2 weeks, we don't just automatically, you know, destroy it in front of their eyes. Although some kids want it. Some kids are like, cool, I'm done with this. Turn it into a pinata. Let's do it. And I'm like, sorry, kiddo, we're not making pinatas today. That's not on my list. And usually structured activity, we do pinatas with the kid because I teach them how to properly fold it. Ooh, that plastic piece coming off. Oh. Oh, that print right there? It's only on the plastic piece. I think it's coming straight off that cardboard. Sorry, I was just being amazed at how easy that was coming off. I've lost my train of thought. It's derailed. And 2 passengers are missing. I'm sure whatever I was talking about wasn't that hard. Oh, like, a great structured activity is teaching the kids how to properly fold. And then we use the brush to push down. And then afterwards, we teach them how to paint with purpose, not for just coverage. Because if you have this, and you're painting it like this, like the normal strokes, it's going to just rip the paper. You have to paint very carefully, and you dab, and then you gently move it around. So it definitely teaches kids another technique, you know? We teach them plenty of different things, but one of the things we do is papier-mâché. And I've been doing a lot of puppets kind of recently just because after Halloween we had so many papers that I had to get rid of. So I made like 4 or 5 all at once. And then after Thanksgiving, which is now I go through and I'll get down all the fall pages, and after Christmas, so like this time, there's definitely a influx. Please come out like a soldier. That is not thick enough. It's not gonna work. Not a good contender. This isn't also a great contender because it's got the shiny piece. It's the part I ripped off, so yeah, none of this will be great. I got some of it off. I think this is the last piece I'm going to try to work with. But it's got to come off pretty clean. And you gave me such high hopes there for half a second. Nope. No, it's not gonna come off clean. Okay, so we were trying to, and you know, they can just be used to soak up spells. So we have our base soaking away. These will take longer. I could use a paper bag because we have the paper bags. Or I could use the paper towel, because we have the paper towel. We're going to use the paper towel. What we're going to do the same outwards folding technique, but we aren't even going to give it like 2 seconds. We aren't even going to give it 2 seconds. Before we just slap it all on. I don't know. I don't use paper towel, as I said, but I don't think more than 2 seconds is really necessary. Oh, this is gonna take forever to dry. I'm actually gonna rip them in half if I can. Nope, I'm not. Okay. This is a learn as I go with new techniques, and I don't really like using paper towels, so I'm probably just going to pull out a paper bag here once I have this one on. I mean, it's a really quick way to cover it if I knew it wasn't like super weak and was just going to self-destruct here as soon as I popped it, you know? You'd have to use so many of these to get up enough strength. So we're just going to leave those as is. They give some nice texture, I guess, but nothing to write home about. I think my mom uses these when she does her art classes because she's an art teacher. And they make them so thick that they're super hard to break. So I bet that's what she uses, and I bet that's what you would do for other kids. Okay, I hated that. So I'm gonna grab a paper bag. that we've done that part, we'll just do our same technique of fold in half, then throw in the water. Yeah, these have to soak a bit longer. Not as long as the thick cardboard. The thicker the paper, the longer it has to soak. That's why the paper towel only took like half a second. And the longer it soaks, the more glue kind of gets into it, so. Okay. I'm going to let these soak for half a second while I clean up some of the rest of this mess. That's on this table. Okay, the next step is taking our balloon and grabbing our paper. I'll be using that paper share, not too distant future, and just laying them down. Now what I want to actually do is flip this so the sturdier pieces are on top. And those pieces I put in more recently get a bit more going for them. Right up there against the edge. Flat as I can get it. Do it every which way without much thought to your poor dress getting covered in glue. We're already on to these. I might have to cut up more of these because I kind of want to do a full layer in them, to be honest. I'm not sure how well anything else will really cover. We shall see. I think this will definitely be the longest video in the series. I still have so much more to do. I'm still having big chunks of balloon. We're gonna have to add a lot more. I'm getting tired, so I'm just gonna cheat and not focus too much on it. Okay. I can already see these needing reinforcement, so I'll just go there. Oh, goodbye, paintbrush. Right there. I'll need another one right there. And right there. Oh, great. This whole side needs it. Probably should let some of these soak a bit longer. It's okay. You're not the right color. Yeah, you're definitely not the right color. I don't know if that'll even stay, but we can certainly try. I don't really want to do a whole nother layer. What I'm going to do do a layer of paper towel on the outside and see. She'll be thick, but she'll hopefully get the job done. I'll grab one more just to seal her in. I'm gonna let this dry for like 10 minutes. Then I'll come back to it for step 2. Okay, I've let it sit for about a minute, but I kind of want to get the next step going. What I'm gonna do is, while it's still pretty wet, it's not like dripping wet, or at least it shouldn't be like dripping wet, like drip, drip, drip wet. But you can still move it just a little bit. I'm just going to make sure everything looks okay. Then I'm going to get that paintbrush. Okay. I'm going to dry it off as much as I can, even though that really won't affect it. And I'll probably not want to waste it right away. I'm going to pour some out into this tag, because if I dip it, it might water down the paint significantly. I don't necessarily want this. So the best technique is to dab. I almost just dipped it, and no, that's not what you want. You just dab, 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 dab. Usually I have a bigger brush for this. We give the kids those big foam brushes. I should have found the biggest brush they had. I wanted a big variety of brushes. This is the biggest one, the set I bought, because I was going to use it for the first painting, but then I just ended up using the brush in the kit. But anyway, I'm making a button. It's going to say do not push. Then I'm going to put, I don't know, a spider or something inside it. Yeah, like a trap. Anyway, the paint. Why you still want to do this when it isn't completely dry? Because when it's dry, it's going to be really hard to, like, even more fragile than it is when it's wet. So it's a higher chance of breaking, but also the paint will help seal it in. You can't even say this. Okay, I'll come back when I'm done painting. Okay, now that it's just completely painted, after a while I ended up just dumping paint, I'll admit, and then I used the side of the brush and just kind of gently pushed it. I was very careful not to push the paper, but I'm gonna put this off to the side. Now it's gotta like dry a lot. There's so much paint on this, it's gonna take a while. So I'm gonna go get some of the other days done and come back to it. Okay, so this monstrosity has been trying now for probably about an hour. Wow. Okay. So by drying, I mean it doesn't look dry anywhere at all. That's okay. That's okay. Because we're going to move on to phase 3 anyway. I definitely want that side down. I don't know how well this is going to work, honestly. Okay, I don't really want to ruin this paint. I'm already turning it pink, so what we're going to do is we're just going to squirt it out here. There's dew. Sorry, I just got some excess paint there. I'm going to dab it back on. Okay. Just want to clear some of the excess paint. Normally I would say let this dry, but I'm tired and I want to get this part done so that it can fully dry, so I can continue on. I'm so happy with this. Hold on. Let me just blot it away. I'm just needing to move it up some more. Okay. Alright, right below the other. Now it says do not. I will lift it up further. Do some more blotting. Sorry about that noise. Someone in the house is moving. I think it's like 3 or 4 a.m. Any obvious spots now, I'll just sort of glop on. Okay. So there it is. It says, do not push. What am I going to do? I'm going to take this brush out. Actually, okay, I'm going to let this dry because I just smudged it to no end because I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're going to let this dry overnight. I'm probably going to move this to the water bowl after I empty the water bowl. And I'm going to let this dry overnight and actually get some sleep. So I hope you have a wonderful night. Hi. So for you, it's only been like 2 seconds. For me, it's been like a month. The rest of them are already like uploaded and scheduled, but this guy took like over a week to fully dry. I tried to do this once and there was still like incredible squishy parts here. So yeah, it took a little while. And you might notice I'm not dressed, I'm not at my normal green screen. I wanted to pre-record a series because I'm reorganizing everything. And now when it's reorganized, it won't really change for you guys. But the area where I keep my craft supplies is a disaster. So I wanted to put a shelf in my room for them. And then I was like, well, how will do that? Because all my shelves are like open on all 4 sides and they're all forward. Okay. Which means I can't get to stuff in the back. So what I wanted to do was put one of the shelves in here and then move over my computer, which is one of those big desks because it's got the computer, my Cricut, my printer, and then a bunch of storage. So I want to move that over and then I want to take the other shelf that's on the other side, move it so that it's horizontal, and then there's like a filing cabinet next to it that I want to push back. So yeah, it's a lot of reorganizing and I'm doing it myself, so it's taking a lot longer than expected. But hopefully by the time this series is over, I'll be able to get my world back in order. So, what you are waiting for is this. Now, these I've become quite good at just making them not go crazy. What you do is you pull the thing and then you just, like the tiniest hole, the tiniest hole. The tiniest hole. Okay. Tiniest hole as I make it slightly bigger because it was too tiny. It's got the tiniest hole. Can you hear it? Because I make these a lot of work and kids get really scared when you pop balloons randomly. So I have learned how to quietly pop balloons. So basically what you want to do is let the air go out. And I put my finger below the hole and I pull. And it just lets it come out easier. And then when it gets to a certain point where it's not so tight, you can cut a bigger hole. And it'll come out a lot easier. But if it's too taut, like this one is really small, so I don't think it would have really popped out anyway. But if you do a big one, cut a small hole. The one's not so tight, cut a big hole. But yeah, that is it. Now, what I could do with this is several things. I don't have a garbage can in here right now. I could load it full of candy, take it to work, and the kids have gained a pinata. This is actually pretty tough. Usually I don't. I usually just add the coloring sheets on the outside, and it's thinner layers so that children could break through it easily. I'm sure they still could. I could. And it would break it pretty easily. But I think what I'll actually do is save this for a roleplay. I have a pinata roleplay that I want to do. I have a lot of stuff I want to do. I have too many ideas. Like, that's been my problem, at least. I have too many ideas. Not enough time. See, it says do not push. It does not say do not tap. Yeah. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you have a wonderful day. And I hope to see you again real soon. Bye.